say they've sort of had this idea of this transcendent sexual relationship that felt like it was going to lead them to this place that you're describing.
Exactly.
But then they're like, oh, that must have just been a fantasy. How would you guide them on step one?
Finish listening to this podcast. This is impossible. What I mean by that is, as far as I can tell, this process is so complex and personal and riddled. I don't know if people can figure it out on their own. I have had just so much time with my teachers and mentors. It's like, and then I took that information and, brought it to the only place that it matters, is like what actually happens. Like what actually happens when you are exploring sex from your own creativity. But and not even in any sort of sexual context necessarily when I'm describing what I've explored with my mentors. It's been more so them helping me understand how does consciousness work, because we are so blind to what is occurring. There's all of these invisible forces that are dictating the tip of the iceberg that we call our personality, and we really have no idea what the fuck is happening. It's like we're just getting yanked around by all of these invisible forces that really relate to the unconscious. So what we get into is a conversation about responsibility, actually. What is the extent of our capacity to take responsibility for what is occurring within consciousness so that we can change the results that manifest on this plane? That's what this is. And that's both body intelligence based and it's consciousness based. What's happening over there? I can say more, but I'm curious. So I guess the thing that I can say, and then I'm curious what's happening for you as you hear this, and maybe if you can help guide the conversation to what would serve the audience here, is I've found that this sort of transformation or whatever, this sort of learning or change happening is so much better, or maybe even only possible within like containers where there's guidance. And I've also found that the community aspect of it really helps to expedite things, because it's like when I'm just working one-on-one with people, one, I only have so much time and I can't, you know what I mean? Like I can only help so many people in that sort of way. But in groups, something that's been cool and kind of surprising in a way is that sometimes people move quicker because there's all of these reflections and all of these other men that are trying to figure this out, and they're bringing their questions and the stuff that's happening and their wins and discoveries, and we're troubleshooting, and people get way more information, way more, because they're like, oh my God, that thing that he just said just totally applies to me, and there's no way I would have been able to articulate it like that, and like just like me, and holy fuck, thank you, bro, for sharing that, like that happens all the time. All the time. So what I would say that like community and reliable guidance and individual support is how we've architected these programs, is to try to create the fastest and most efficient and thorough way. One that, most people, that's all they need. I don't know about most, but like a lot of people, that's all they need is like an 8-week program is like, that's enough for a lot of people. They're like, okay, cool. But then that's also enough for other people to be like, I like this. How far does this rabbit hole go? Like, show me stuff, So it's like, go ahead. What are you going to say?
Well, I wanted to answer your question. I didn't mean to sort of obscure my reaction over here. I just was, when I asked the question, I was like, well, how would you guide somebody? I didn't expect our answer to end up in the realms of taking responsibility for what exists consciously, right? I was just like, and I'm sort of, I'm grasping at, because, I work as a coach and I have these conversations with people, but they certainly don't ever kind of go over the boundary or the fence or whatever metaphor we'll use to talk about sex. And I'm just like, part of me is thinking, how come I never considered this in the same way, right? That they're
probably for the same reason that nobody else has either.
Yeah. And that's,